You're listening to Home Bar Happy Hour. We're talking about the clap. We're talking about fantasy football drafts. And we're talking about pirates. Down on your bag of bones. Let's go, America.
All right, what is going on today, Mike? How are you? You out there doing some pillaging, doing some pirating?
Hell yeah, brother. This weekend was sick.
Yeah, what all did you get into?
Yeah, I took the SS Cutter Deep out to Lake Erie, out to Cleveland, to my buddy and his family's place, and we set sail to one of the islands, Middle Bass. That's where we had our Airbnb, and
okay.
Yeah, we had a great time, man, all weekend. But before we get into it, I just wanted, how you been? Is there anything you want to say before we start getting here?
I've been good. I've been hanging out in there. Had myself a good weekend too. It was actually around your neck of the woods. I was at Hershey for Creed concert. That was fun. A lot of white people there, a lot of honkies, but it was good. It was a good time.
That's good to hear, brother.
Yeah.
Well, hey, for all of our listeners out there, make sure that you're hitting like and subscribe on all of our on any viewing platform that you're choosing. Also follow us on social media with Home Bar Happy Hour. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're everywhere, brother. So just give us a hit and a like. We really appreciate it.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna get back into that Lake Erie trip, man. Dude, every time I go out there, so I go out there the same weekend. It's the weekend before Labor Day. And dude, we lucked out so well on weather. The weather up there, dude, if you don't know dude, the Great Lakes is like hit or miss, man. The sea can be very angry up there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too bad, dude. We had beautiful weather, man. Just not a cloud. I mean, a couple clouds in the sky, but it was like beautiful weather, calm winds. Very, very little chop. I took them tubing. We checked in our Airbnb. It was, good. Then we got a golf cart for a couple of days, and that was really fun.
Ripping and tearing up. Yeah.
Dude, Middle Pass Island. So they got like 4 bars there, but 2 of them are like they're the only ones that are on the Google map. They got this sick ass tiki bar there, man, and it kind of like. If you were to watch The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, I know we said this in a previous episode, but that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. Like
the inside is kind of like that, but more like islandy, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like old-fashioned wood and everything. Then you go out, it's like this massive area. Like they got like cornhole, they got a pool, a hot tub. They got an outdoor bar. They got they got these little cute little sitting areas in between all these little bamboo they put like pavers down in all this bamboo, and everybody's got their own little privacy thing with a little fire and stuff. And it was pretty cool, man. It's not brand new, so I mean it's aged, but it still was pretty sweet, man.
Yeah.
And then we went to dinner. The food was okay. I mean it's bar food, so it was expensive.
Yeah, I love good bar food. It's weird it's expensive out there in Ohio. Ohio's like barely even a real state,
Yeah, well, out there on you're smack dab. If you look where the islands are, they're like smack dab right in the middle of Lake Erie.
Right, gotcha.
And
so they gotta import all that food in from the mainland.
Yeah, it was like $7 for a beer.
Ooh, that's about Philly prices. That ain't too terrible.
Yeah, but we're not in Philly. We're up in this island.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, if you go over to Put in Bay, that's where it's happening, man. That's like the party island. That's where they got this beautiful. I think I talked about it, but I went back to the Beer Barrel Saloon. I was going to go live on our TikTok, but the owner wasn't there, and they weren't sure if it would have been okay and all that. You know what I mean? So I was like, whatever. They gave me some really nice history. I did a drop on TikTok about it.
Okay.
They have like all this Yeah, they got like, so the bar was built. Now it's the world's Guinness Records longest bar, not the largest, the longest.
Yeah.
So, in the back, like it's kind of like the size of your average fire hall. You know, if you go to a fire hall for like a bingo or voting or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one of those. That's about the average size. It's got like an indoor stage.
Okay.
And it was built back in like the 30s the 30s or 40s, and then it burned down once. They had to, well, he salvaged it, like I don't know, in the 60s or 70s it burned down.
Yeah.
Then the roof collapsed in the 80s, so it was like rebuilt or refurbished twice, but it's still like all the stuff is pretty much, well, it's definitely all from the 80s, everything that was added to it, but they got like all their vintage, all their old school tap systems are all still there, so it's like just a barrel with like 4 old antique tap systems. I mean, it doesn't work anymore, but it's still cool.
Did they have? Was the longest bar there before the fire? Did they rebuild the longest bar, or was that after the fire?
Oh no, it's always been like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they still have like the most of the stuff from the original, like some stuff from the original, but which this is the coolest thing. So they have a bar, probably about like a 20-seater bar, all the way in the back next to the bathrooms, facing the front where you'd be sitting at the longest bar, and they have like these little islands or fingers. That's what they call them, fingers. So these fingers from the bar, they poke out, and it's like they got seats that go around them. I'd have to do like a diagram for you, but anyway, so back there they have all the original stuff that survived all the disasters that it went through from the Chicago's World Fair.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, from when that burned down. So
yeah.
He said like, he's like, if you go into the back there, he's like, if you peel back the wall or look behind it, it's still charred from the fires from Chicago's World Fair back in like 1913s and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I thought that
was pretty legit, man. Like, they got like all the concession stuff, like food, pizza, popcorn, like all that stuff, like all that vending stuff back there is all like the sides, like the walls and shit. They're all from the Chicago's World Fair, man. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was a long time ago, right?
Yeah, but then I ran into a captain wearing this, and I was like, dude, that hat is so sick, and he was just smashed out of his mind.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, man, you're good, you can have it, bro. And I'm
like, he just gave it to you.
No, I can't take your hat, man. He's like, nah, from one captain to another. He's like, welcome to Put-in Bay. I was like, you want any money for it? He's like, nah, man, consider it as a gift, bro. I was like, all right. So I put it on, and me and my boy walked across the street to, it's called Mojito Bay. That's like a sand bar. It's just a bar with sand, and they got like a big tiki thing over it. They got swings that come from the joists of the building. And when I walked in there, dude, everybody's like, yo, let me get a picture with you, man. And I was like, arr, shiver me timbers. I was like ripping beers with people, and I was like, all hands stand aloft and bear away, steady on ahead to White Cap Bay. Woo! Dude, it was hilarious. Like 50 people were taking my picture with me and shit, or taking a picture with me, next to me and stuff. It was like older couples, girls, all this shit. It's too bad that everybody had a ring on, man. All the singles come out at night. Yeah,
that's true. During the day, that's most of the people are waiting for the nighttime to get their freak on, you know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm a day drinker, dude. If I'm on vacation, I'm day drinking.
Yeah, I feel you. Did you pass out early then? You didn't stay out till the bars closed?
No, because I was day drinking the day before, so woke up at 8, 9 o'clock, got out the boat, came back, went to a bar, started drinking. Then we got on the ferry because I'm not piloting my boat over there and then piling it back to Middle Bass. Fuck that.
Yeah,
so we took a ferry. We took a ferry over, and they went and did some family stuff. I just went to the Beer Barrel Saloon, and then my boy came over, had some beers with me, and then went over to Mojito Bay. And I was only over there for like a couple hours. They had dinner. I'm not having a sit down dinner.
Yeah. I feel you. So
And then we just
how was
booked
the
the ferry ride
Airbnb
back.
you guys stayed at?
You know what? That Airbnb was, I really liked it. It was really cute. It was small. It kind of reminded me of like a small little camper. Like it had it was like the same setup.
Was it on wheels?
No. It's like they were all little cottages.
Okay.
And actually, like almost like a little, but this woman owns it. She owns like a few cottages, and then she like lives right next door. And one of the cottages of herself, so it's like her land, like her stuff. So she Airbnbs them out for money, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's got a nice deck, they got like some seats out there and all this, yada, yada, yada. You got Wi-Fi and all this. And then, so yeah, what was it? Dude, it was like we were going to the pool. And like, so they had their little 9-year-old girl with them, their daughter. And like, she stopped the golf cart. But she was like really weird when we first met her.
Yeah.
And she stops the golf cart. Doesn't even look at her parents. She just looks right at the girl. She's like, "Hey, if your parents are going to Put-in Bay, you can come over to my place. I'll watch you. I have lots of arts and crafts." I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, dude, the unmitigated gall of this woman. Like, dude, you realize I'm not a stranger danger. I'm just a stranger. But now that we know, I'm like, no. If you say you're not a stranger danger, you are a stranger danger.
Yeah,
and
pretty
being
much.
like something like fucking like out of what is that movie Prisoners with fucking Jake Gyllenhaal and fucking you know what I mean, that movie, like that fucking old woman kids have some soda. Yeah, and then she leaves like these fucking tomatoes. Hey, I left some tomatoes on her, like from her garden out front. I was like, I ain't eating that shit. That shit's got a fucking wormhole in it. That one, I was like, I'm not eating this. I was like, and then she left us like a nasty voicemail because, like, we didn't have the bed sheets. She left, not me. I didn't order it. My buddy's wife did.
Yeah.
She left her a nasty voicemail saying that, like, we had all of our trash bagged up and everything. We were barely in there. We bagged it all up, and I was like, we don't know where to put it, so we just consolidated, bagged it up, took it out, and just left it there on the deck. And so she was pissed because we didn't take the garbage out. Where the fuck are we supposed to put it? Like, there's nothing on there. Like, the checklist was all over the place.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, you got to have really concrete rules.
We stripped the beds. We put she said that she didn't like how we didn't have it all consolidated into one pile. We had, like, I stripped a bed, put it in a pile in my bedroom. They stripped their beds, placed it in theirs. And then, like, you know what I mean? Anything that needed, and that was it. It wasn't even a big deal. Like, and she just left this nasty voicemail, and it was like, dude, you're fucking nuts, man. You're batshit crazy.
Yeah.
That's like the path that you have to do with Airbnbs.
Airbnbs are, I mean, one, they're not really any cheaper than hotel rooms anymore, right? Like, Airbnbs have gotten so expensive with cleaning fees and popularity and stuff. Like, so unless you're like staying in someone's room in their house for like $20 a night, you're really not saving any money. So that, kind of sucks. They're only really good if you're doing, kind of like what you said, where, it's a bunch of people and you guys all want to be at the same place. But aside from that, dude, like, you just want to, like, staying in a hotel is so much easier. You don't have to worry. Dude, you could stay in a hotel room, leave the garbage on the bed, leave the sink running, dirty towels all over the place. Like, who can't, no one cares. Someone comes through and cleans it up. Like, with Airbnbs, they want everything, especially like these hosts that you're talking about, dude. They just want everything so perfect. And, you got to do all the dishes. You have to, do it's like, well, I'm paying a cleaning fee. Right? Yeah. Like, does that mean I get to, leave the trash in the trash cans? No, it's got to go out. And it can't even go out here. It's got to go all the way down here. And, you got to figure out where it's supposed to go. And we want all the beds stripped. And it's like, dude, stay in a hotel. And you know what you do in a hotel? You just leave. You make sure you got all your electronics and you bounce. That's all you got to do.
These people who bitch about the cleaning and stuff like that, they're just trying to save a quick buck. They don't want to have to do anything. They want to go in there themselves and just clean a little bit up, and then that way they can pocket that cleaning fee for themselves. Otherwise, that cleaning fee is supposed to go towards a maid service, or you know what I mean?
That's what it's supposed to go to, right? Like you should.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it too, right? Like I would not. What am I trying to say? I would not, like if I was running an Airbnb, I would have a cleaner come through every time, because the other thing you
Yes.
get when you stay at a house as opposed to an Airbnb, or when you stay at a hotel, is that hotel room has been cleaned that day and will be like spotless. When you're
Yes.
talking about an Airbnb, a huge house, like I wouldn't expect a maid service to come do and do a deep clean of everything, hit the toilets, hit the tub, hit the kitchen, and change the sheets. But are they gonna, do a vacuum and mop every time? Probably not. So you don't want to stay in a gross place. But if you're
Yeah.
doing it all yourself and you're just adding all these like crazy rules on top of it, like, yeah, you're right. You're just trying to pocket some extra money. Hire
You're gonna
someone for
miss. You're gonna
$150
miss.
to come through for an hour,
You're gonna
clean.
if you put like a ton of rules down or whatever. If you're vague on these rules or whatever, or what needs to be done, like, and especially if the tenant, you want to call it, is paying for that cleaning service, like they're not going to go above and beyond. They're just going to do what's on there. And if you're vague about it, like I don't know what I'm not doing. We pay for a cleaning service. I'm not cleaning shit. That's my thing. Like if you got like in there like, hey, strip the beds, just throw all the sheets in the center of each room. Just make sure all the trash is cleaned up and bags are tied off and then consolidated outside. Like the maid service will dispose of them and you know what I mean, like making sure that they're taken somewhere, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's Airbnbs are weird, right? Like if you're
It's
staying,
like a bunch of morons that are owning these things and they have no idea what the hell they're doing. They just think it's like, you know what I mean. That's how I feel.
this is how I think they're doing it, right? Like if you're buying a house for the purpose of Airbnb, like that's great. That's the way you should do it. But these people are treating it like you're a guest in their home. If I was a overnight guest in someone's house, sure, like I'm not going to leave trash in your trash can. I'm going to strip the sheets before I leave. But I'm staying at a hotel, which is what an Airbnb is, right? Like it is a hotel that just happens to be a house. You shouldn't be expected to do all that stuff, right? Like you're going in, you're staying for the night or the weekend or whatever, and don't trash the place. I'm not saying, you should leave empty beer cans all over the place and the toilet overflowing and, sink piled up with dirty dishes, but you also shouldn't really be stripping the bed and throwing them in the, I've been at Airbnbs where they asked you to start a load of laundry before you leave.
Oh yeah.
Like take all the towels, take everything, put them in, and you're like, I feel like I'm doing your job here. I'm paying you money to stay at your house, to stay at this place, right? Like that's how these transactions work. I'm not just, a overnight guest in your home that I'm doing this for free. Like this is an exchange of services, and the idea should be that you cover up most of the cleaning. As long as you're not destroying stuff, then shouldn't be an issue. But that's my 2 cents on Airbnbs.
I think you have like a best or worst Airbnb, and that's including like you can include that with the owner. I think the worst, it would have to be this woman. That she was just fucking always keeping tabs on us and shit. It was very creepy, dude.
Yeah,
like, really creepy. And like I feel like there were cameras and shit in there. Like I'm like,
there might have been.
I mean, like I didn't give a fuck because it's just me. If anybody wants to see my fat ass change, like whatever, hey, whatever. But you know what I mean? Because I'm just like, come on in. I'll, like motherfucker. But like for them, they have like a small 9-year-old daughter, like a child.
Yeah,
like,
that's weird.
Weird, dude. So I felt like that, like, dude, if you're an Airbnb owner, leave the guests the fuck alone. And just like they check in, they check out. If they don't follow the fucking rules, then you charge them. Or like, you know what I mean? If they break shit and stuff like that, they get charged. Let the maid service like that, hey, the window was broken or something like that. They didn't fucking tell you. Like, that shit goes to Airbnb. Let them settle that shit. Like,
and Airbnb should be the one like reaching out to you and, figuring out the, cost. Like if you throw up in someone's Uber car, it's typically not that driver that calls you. It's Uber that's sending,
And then they charge you out the ass to get it cleaned, as they should.
Yes, as they should. That is
I don't want no rank ass vomit in the back of my rig. But the best Airbnb I would have to say, it would have to be a combination. Man, it's really hard. Probably the bungalow down in Florida with my boys, because we ended up calling ourselves the Bungalow Boys. That Airbnb was legit called the Bungalow down in Fort Myers before it was destroyed by like that the big hurricane that came through there and destroyed the entire beach.
Yeah.
But that had been the best one. And the only bad thing about it was that the entire beach lost power the first night, so the air conditioning was out. My God, it was so fucking hot in that place. Yeah. I'm like, fuck this, dude. I'm sitting out in the fucking car. Give me the keys to your car. I'm sitting in the air condition. I'll drink in the passenger seat or something. Or let's go to a bar. Why are we sitting in this hot-ass fucking house until the power comes on? Let's go sit out where they have fans and shit. Or I guess that doesn't work either. You can't go to a bar if all the power's out.
Yeah, but maybe you can at least get a breeze coming off the beach or something, right? If you're sitting on a beachside bar. Yeah, I haven't had too many bad Airbnb experiences. I don't typically use them. Like if I'm going anywhere, I try to do hotels just because I don't like dealing with all of the rules that come with staying in an Airbnb.
You were a big Airbnb guy back in the day. But like when they first started kicking off.
I used to stay at when we had drill, I would stay at an Airbnb pretty much every drill weekend because it was about a 2-hour drive for me.
Kid threw up all over your shit the drill weekend before.
Yep. So after that, I started.
I would have killed him. I would have fucking killed that kid.
Yeah, he was definitely.
I remember his name.
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
Don't want to put him.
Let's move on here, Joe. Like we got go ahead. You want to finish up anything?
I was just gonna say I stayed at a really great Airbnb there, and it was like $20 a night, and it was just a room in someone's house. Like it was this nice older lady that lived really close to the armory, and you pay $20, and sleep in their guest bedroom, and she didn't ask for anything to be done. There was always a towel waiting for me and a bathroom I could use. And I would always strip the sheets and throw them on the bed. And she messaged me one time, after the first time, she's like, "Oh, you don't have to do that. I'll take care of everything. Just stay here." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm still going to do it because that's nice." But yeah, that was a great.
The only thing that she did for you.
That was the only thing she did for me.
Hello, Josiah.
Yeah, it wasn't a.
Let me give you a nice little gum job.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't what's that Garth Brooks song? Beaches of Cheyenne. It wasn't one of those.
The Beaches of Cheyenne.
Yeah, it wasn't one of them situations.
Before we get, I did some of the bartenders up there at Beer Barrel Saloon. I gave them our stuff, our information.
Cool.
So they're gonna be watching us and stuff like that as well. So this is a shout out to all you guys up there who were slinging cold drinks up there at the Beer Barrel Saloon, Putin Bay, Ohio, Lake Erie. So let's get on here to it's fantasy football time, brother. You in any leagues?
I'm in one league. I've been in one league for years now, probably 10 years, and I typically do pretty well in that league. It's 14 teams, $100 buy-in, so it's pretty competitive. But I don't keep up with football at all throughout the off season, and even during the season, I really just watch the Eagles. I'm not like a sit down and watch every game type of guy, and that actually really helps me out, not just in this league, but I think in fantasy football in general. Because what I do when I draft, I show up with all these guys that are huge football nerds, and they have all their list of these sleepers and who they're going to hit, and they've done all these mock drafts. I go in and I just draft off of position. So like in our league, 14 teams, running backs go first. Like if you don't get a good running back, you're screwed. So first round, I typically take a running back, and then second, third round, I'm looking for, if I can get a good running back again, like if I'm late in the order, I might pick up two, but I'm looking for good wide receivers. I'm, figuring out all my positions, and that's really how I draft. I draft by position, and that's it. And I take whoever's like the best available, whoever's looking good. I'm not trying to figure out any sleepers or go down. I don't draft a quarterback till like the 9th or 10th round, and I'm typically pretty good to go with that. What about you, Mike? What's your strategy?
Well, how many teams are in that league?
14.
Okay, that's a decent amount.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely in 2. I don't know if I'm in another. I have no idea what these other 2 leagues are doing. I haven't gotten anything from the commissioner. I'm in there. I paid. Or no, I didn't. No, I didn't pay. I didn't pay them yet because I don't know what the fuck is going on with them. I don't even know what they're running. I texted them and it was like, whatever. Hey, if I go from 3 or 4 leagues down to 2 leagues, sweet. That's all I want. Because these 2 leagues that I'm in, I'll never leave unless they cancel them.
Yeah.
Which is the one I have tonight. That's my college one. That's been going on for like 20 years, man. This one is probably the hardest fantasy football league, and I just don't do any homework. I go in like a wild man because it's 16 teams. 16 teams, dude. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: is that so we split it into two divisions, and but our roster is quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, and I think 2 flex positions, a kicker, a defense, and I think like 3 or 4 bench. Like we don't have a big bench. That's like the thing. Like so, if you have, you know what I mean? Like that's what that makes the waiver wire a little bit more. Like you're already chicken picking through dog shit as it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like a big old crapshoot, dude. So I mean, it's like pointless. Oh, and it's a keeper league too, so you get to keep 1 player.
Oh, okay, to roll over.
Yeah. I think next year we're gonna we vote on we do so many rules. Like I think next year we're gonna vote on not kind of like it's not gonna be a dynasty. I think he said like any player that he drafted after the 6th or 7th round, you can keep.
Any player, so you can carry over
any player.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
No. 1 player. You can keep 1 player that's been drafted after the 6th or 7th round. Here's the problem: is that it's 16 teams, so the 6th or 7th round, that's like the 9th or 10th round in an average 14-team league.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I have that one tonight, which I'm leaving up all my equipment because we do a video chat while we're doing it. So I got like all these screens of everybody on there. So,
yeah, nice.
And then the Afghan League that we started when we were in Afghanistan.
Okay.
So we got that. That's $100 buy, and the one tonight I think is like $75. And then we do like weekly price, so week's highest points at the end of the season. If you have like multiple week's highest points, that's all adds up, and most of the time everybody just throws it towards their dues.
Yeah.
And then you have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. I voted against having a regular season winner. I also voted against having a fucking toilet bowl. The toilet bowl is like everybody who didn't make it into the playoffs. So if you finish last, like I do, almost. I won it once a couple years ago. I think it was 2 years ago I won it. And then outside of that, I finished, ever since we started having last place loser, I think I fucking had last place like 4 times ever since.
Really? Wow.
Yes. And it was ever since we did this. So the last place loser, you either do a combine video and send it to everyone, which I've done like 3 combine videos, and I'm just done. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this. So you just donate to the fraternity up at college. And I'm done. Okay. I donated to them like $100 here this year towards they did like like I don't know, the fraternity did a thing for students with autism. So I threw like $100 into that. So I wanted to do something else that wasn't like too. I don't know. I'm not sitting in a Waffle House and fucking eating or an IHOP and eating fucking pancakes all fucking day. Fuck that. I'd rather sit at a bar and just drink beer all fucking day.
Is that one of the like? What?
That was one of punishments. That's a last place punishment right there. Another one is like some of the Steeler guys in there were like saying that I should wear Cowboys gear to an Eagles Dallas game. And I was like, no,
that's not
fucking happening.
Yeah, that's not something.
Also, also somebody said I should stand out on the street in my boxers with a sign around and it says I suck at fantasy football.
That's not bad.
Even just for like 5 minutes just to get a picture. But I said, I was like, I'd do that only if the commissioner would come down and take the picture because he's up there. It's Asian Dan. He's the commissioner. He lives up there in Pittsburgh. So he'd have to come down and take the picture of me.
Yeah.
I'd do that probably. I don't even care if I even donated. I'd do that. Whatever.
Yeah,
also, they got the one last place punishment I saw was the last place loser has to dress up as like a pink bunny or, like a bunny costume like from the Christmas Story or like a tiger or something like that or a gorilla costume. And they all go to a paintball course. You have to run from one end of the paintball course to the other while getting shot at. Like everybody's trying to hunt you.
Ooh, that's a rough one there.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then, that'd be cool because you don't have to do it once, and then you just, take that shit off and just throw your gear, and you guys have like a paintball and beer day.
Yeah. We don't do anything. We don't do anything like that in our league, and I've been pushing for us to do something. It's just a little difficult because they're all, a bunch of lamos. They don't want to do anything fun, but because we do a snake draft, right? So if you're the position order is based off of your position last year. So if it's like halfway through the season or, getting close to the end of the season and you're like in the middle of the pack and, you only got 4 or 5 games left, it behooves you to just start throwing games. If you're not going to make it, we give out a first place money, second place money, and then whoever has the highest points of the year. So I think, was it $1,400 altogether? I think it's like $1,000 for first place, $300 for second, and then you get your money back, $100 if you have the most points at the end of the season. But yeah, so if you're not in, one of the top 2 spots or, going to have the top points, then you might as well just start throwing all your games so you get a better draft pick next year. That's kind of how it's done. But if there was some type of punishment for last place or lower on, then it would be good.
Yeah, I saw the other last place punishment. Somebody who got a professional photo done. In a little girl's, like, it had to be at the professional photo booth, like where, like, Sears or something like that. I remember Sears, and it had to be like pink pillows and pink fleshy part, and they had to lay there, like, like a little girl with a sign that says "I suck at fantasy football."
That's pretty good. That's a good punishment.
I saw that one. They actually did. That's one that they do in the Army for like the guys. I saw the one guy in his uniform, like just sitting there and like,
yeah,
or like us, like all pissed off because he had to get it done.
Yeah.
He was in his uniform. That was just for a league.
Yeah.
The problem is that when you start doing stuff like that, like, once you start doing pictures and shit like that, then that shit's like out there. You know what I mean?
Yep, it is out there forever.
So, yeah, and I'm not, the way technology's going these days, I don't really give a shit because I'm not going to be working for some fucking high-end, I'm going to be owning my own business, so.
Yeah.
But, so let's get into some season predictions here, Joe. I'd like to get my season's predictions here real quick. Let me bring it up here on my phone so it scans my face. So my boys and I, we do season predictions every year just for shits and gigs. Nothing crazy. So I have Saquon, outlandish. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is some outlandish shit. So I just do off the wall stuff. So Saquon Barkley, NFL leading rusher, probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, but I threw it in there. Who the fuck knows? Packers win the NFC North. Justin Fields finishes as the Steelers' starting quarterback. AFC North is a bloodbath. The best AFC division this year. Steelers, Bengals, Ravens all make the playoffs. The Browns suck.
That's fair. That one's could happen.
Yeah. San Francisco loses in the divisional round to the Lions. Dallas loses Dak for the season, week 5.
Week 5.
Houston,
wow, you're really calling your shot.
Houston wins the division. Rookie of the Year, Marvin Harrison Jr. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Quentin Mitchell. Offensive Player of the Year, Amon St. Brown. Defensive Player of the Year, Michael Parsons. Coach of the Year, Matt LaFleur. And the MVP, Jalen motherfucking Hurts.
Yeah, you think
and
so?
And then I got the Eagles defeating the Packers in the NFC Championship game, and I got the Ravens defeating Houston in the AFC Championship game, and I got the Eagles defeating the Ravens in the Super Bowl.
All right, those are bold predictions.
That'd be fun. This is how we have a stack problem, but this is before all injuries. So we got injuries that come into play.
Yeah, definitely.
Injuries, I highly doubt our team is too talented that a lot better this year. So the veteran coordinators, as long as they're not like shit canning the game at the end, there should be zero reason why our team can't make it to the Super Bowl this year and win. Zero. With minus injuries. Injuries that's one thing.
Yeah, we'll see. The Eagles are really good at letting us down. That's for sure. So you never know until. Have you watched any of the preseason games? Do you see how they're looking?
No, I watched. I think I've watched one. I'm not into preseason. If it's on, I'll watch it. But I was watching the defense. It's so hard. It's so hard to gauge everything. I'm not a coach. I'm not. If I knew what I was looking at, I'd be a fucking NFL coach.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh man, I like how he played and stuff." What the fuck are you talking about?
I know more than me. That's for sure.
You don't work down there. Hey, how do you think the Eagles are going to do during the week? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't work for them down there. I'm not a player. How the fuck do I know? That's how I feel. I do feel that Houston's going to be better. They're going to be good this year. Houston's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Houston's going to be a top AFC team this year.
Well, we'll see. Next week is the beginning of the season. Next Friday is the Eagles opener.
Bro, what are you doing, man? You and Elizabeth want to come up?
We're actually going to Maryland. We're going to my sister's house to watch it. They invited us up.
Okay.
Or down. Yeah.
Think about doing a nice old big beef brisket, or maybe maybe I'll do smoke a pork shoulder and then turn in some pork tacos or something down here.
Yeah.
Brazil. Yeah, I can't wait for in the middle of halftime when Vin Diesel comes flying out in his some random fucking car, and he's like, "This is Brazil."
That would be sick. I would love that. But hey, this weekend is another sporting event, right? WWE's heading to Berlin, Germany. You got any plans for that?
Yeah, I'll be down at the Chesapeake. I won't be watching it.
Oh, okay.
I'll be watching the replay.
Yeah. You got any bold predictions for the bash in Berlin?
Go to the card for me.
Let me look.
I do know. So I feel that. So they got, what is that? Shit. Who's CM Punk versus
Drew McIntyre. That's a strap match.
A leather strap match.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be quite the fight there. Mixed tag team match with.
I think McIntyre's going to be winning. There's 0 point in. There's 0 point in having CM Punk win because you got to put McIntyre over. You know what I mean? They got to make. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel that Yeah, that's gonna be a fight. I feel that the Cody Rhodes' championship, he's gonna retain it.
Yeah, he's
But it's gonna
fighting
be a good
Owens.
match.
That's
Yeah.
the main championship. Right under that though is Gunther and Randy Orton. That should be a pretty good
That's
fight.
the one that I'm not sure about because I don't know if, like, they need to get away from they need to go. They need to start having people like losing titles, like title changes. So I
Yeah.
think Randy Orton might win that match.
Okay, he might.
Because everybody, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like, at the end of the day, I really don't give a fuck. I just want to be entertained. I would like to see Randy Orton win because dude was awesome when I was watching, you know what I mean, back in the day.
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago. So, and he's a big dude.
Well, I think so. I think the big match everyone's going to be talking about is CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I think that's going to be a good one, the strap match. But right after that, I think another one that it's going to be on people's lips is the mixed tag team match. That's Liv Morgan and Dom Mysterio against Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. So I know there's a lot of drama going on with Dom and Rhea and Liv Morgan and them. So I think that'll be a good one to watch. I didn't know Rhea Ripley was back. She was fighting. I know she got injured at WrestleMania, but I guess she's back.
Here's what I have predicted for that match. I feel like that is going to be like it's just going to be fucking chaos. That's how I feel. So like I feel like the rest of that faction, the Judgment Day, is going to come out, and then Edge is going to come back.
Yeah.
Edge, because he's the one who started it.
Yeah, probably.
And Edge is going to come out to help Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio get out of that one unscathed.
Yeah, or the Undertaker comes out and he decides to manage. That'd be pretty cool.
I don't think the Undertaker's coming back. You're only going to see him at a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam or something. You're not going to see him at.
Yeah, I know, but you never know. I mean, like, he doesn't have to do anything. All he has to do is just like be there for theatrical purposes to help build their characters up. And what better person than to have the Undertaker have them? Or like, dude, wouldn't it be sick if the Judgment Day killed them off, or like something like that, and then all of a sudden lightning bolts come down on Monday Night Raw, and all of a sudden like Undertaker brings them back.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Fucking wild.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Have you been following the whole what's that dude's fucking name, man? He's like a tank. He fought Braun Strowman last night. That was I just turned it on just to see what was going on, and I just saw two fucking massive behemoths throwing themselves through shit in the backstage. And it was the first time that I have seen, like, this Braun Strowman's, 6'8", 6'9", and, he's fucking enormous. And then this other dude, I forget his name, but they're building him. He's a younger guy. He jumped off. He was up 15, 20 feet in the air or somewhere in there. He jumped off outside. This Braun Strowman was laying on the hood, on the roof of this fucking car. This fucking other dude came down, jumped off the fucking side outside the delivery center, off the wall, right on top of him. Fucking glass smashed down on both sides. It was fucking hilarious. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, that's like entertainment. That's why I watched, because it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I know it's fucking fake. So
he's still jumping.
Young guy up. So this young guy's going to come out at Bash in Berlin, and he's going to fucking destroy somebody. He's like, hey, nobody can fucking stop me, or something like that. Next thing you know, you're going to hear Brock Lesnar's music fucking hit.
Okay.
I feel like that'd be somebody that they can, maybe because they'd want to use him to build that guy up. That's what you want. You want to use your old veterans before they get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Build up your current roster.
I think pass that stuff on. I think Bronson Reed's the guy's name that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Bronson Reed. Yeah, he's a big dude, big old fella.
Yeah, he's a big hoss.
Yeah, you don't want that coming down on you.
Did you see Sid Vicious passed away?
I did. That's the second Sid Vicious we lost.
I had no idea who he was until WCW days when he came back to fight Scott Steiner and his fucking leg snapped in half in the middle of the ring.
Ooh, I don't remember that. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that was his last match. He did come back in the WWE for just like a Legends thing. Like he came back, like came in, chokeslammed somebody, walked out. That was it.
Okay.
But his last active match was against Scott Steiner in WCW, like right there that year that they closed down. That was supposed to be like the Starrcade match before they closed up shop.
I mean, that would be my last match too, right? If I snap my leg, I'm not going back in that ring.
Dude, when you watch that video, man, it's fucking disgusting. Dude,
I bet.
It's his shin, his entire, all that, like, just splits.
Ugh.
It's just like that, like, dude, it's fucking disgusting.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, thoughts and condolences out. That's a sad loss there. He's had some really good matches, some very entertaining matches against some other legends. So
yeah,
yeah,
always tough.
Let's get into some news here before we end the show here, Joe. So did you see this fucking woman in New Jersey was arrested for sticking her arm not into just a bear enclosure? We already know your thoughts on bears, but also a fucking tiger enclosure at a zoo over there.
Dude,
what are you doing, girl?
I mean, at that point, like she got arrested, but at that point, just let Darwinism, take control. Survival of the fittest out there. If you're sticking your arm in tiger cages, bear cages, that you don't deserve that arm. You're not treating that arm with respect. You're putting that arm in dangerous situations, and let the bears take it. That's not your arm anymore. That's the bear's arm.
I do have to say that the tiger reacted to her very, very kindly, very cat-like.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like very, like a cat, like kind of like cat would or a dog would. I mean, it did have its arm around, it did have its mouth around her fucking arm, but I mean, they're at the end of the day, they're wild animals. It doesn't matter how they get grown up, and that's the point. You want to keep them separate. You're there just for visual,
right?
They want to, you know what I mean. You're supposed to keep their enclosures supposed to be like these. They're very massive enclosures that they keep them for. You know what I mean, for animal. You know what I mean. I don't blame you. I don't want to see a tiger in a little 15 by 15 concrete cell.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go give it a pet. I mean, you watch that Tiger King show, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. These are cats, and if you know a cat, they are domesticated in some way. But I mean, I think everyone has met a cat that just randomly goes insane. Yeah, cats will be like nice and chill, and then they'll hiss and jump at you. Tigers, lions, they're the same thing, man. They're just cats. You could
lions, tigers, bears. Oh my!
Yeah, you can be the Barnum and Bailey brothers or Siegfried and Roy, whoever it was, have this tiger forever and think it's a great, chill little cat, and maybe it is. But then one day he just turns into a cat and just goes and attacks you, rips your arm off.
It's the same with dogs. Like dogs go through that too.
I feel like dogs. I feel like
not in general. It's uncommon, but they're still animals, and like. There's, dogs, attack, just biting a kid or something.
Yeah, they do. I feel like typically, like with dogs, though, you'll know, like, hey, this dog is a biter. Like, he might not do it all the time, but then there are some dogs that are like, they don't bite. They don't do much. Like, I've seen little kids pulling on dogs' ears and their tails, and the dogs just, kind of wimp and, run away. Like, but then you got some dogs that you pull on a tail, that boy's going to nip at you. He ain't going to put up with none of that. So it's just all, but you're right. I mean, they're all animals, they're not.
You go to a zoo, you appreciate things. You don't jump over the barrier and then go up to the enclosure because there's like a 5-10 foot distance between the crowd barrier and the actual enclosure at most zoos. Yeah, don't stick your arm in. What are you? Clearly, you need help. You're not right in the head.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the New Jersey's finest are giving her the help she needs by locking up them arms.
So I saw this one article. Am I the asshole for hooking up with my best friend's ex from high school who gave me the clap? just to give you a sum up of this,
Sure.
me and my best friend had a falling out over a boy. Hold on, let me bring this over here so you can hear me. Had a falling out over a boy that she dated before I transferred to her school. He gave me the clap, and she had gotten it from him as well, but blamed me despite me showing her my recent STD screen before I had gotten with him, and won't quit telling everyone I gave her the clap and I didn't. She's 21 and I'm 22. If you girls are running around that young, you might want to, satisfy your sexual things by a toy if you're running around arguing over who gave you the clap and who didn't. Because that dude is, fucking trash, dude. Clean yourselves up. Stop acting like a fucking wild tiger or a bear. Those animals they're animals and they're cleaner than you are.
Yeah.
Like, have some goddamn human decent, like some self-discipline, some dignity about yourself, man. What do you think?
Well, I'm all for, loving whoever you want to love.
I was gonna say, if you were like, I'm all about spreading fucking STDs, man.
I'm not about spreading STDs, but that should be the number one headline here is like, just be safe. You know what I mean? You're getting into these, these big, you're in a big, got the bulletin board with the pins and the strings going everywhere, trying to figure out who gave who the clap. And you're like, all right, guys, like, just be safe, get yourself tested every now and then, and wear something, wrap it up for a bit.
Stop giving these cum dumpsters.
Well,
the fuck. If she's nasty, man, that's all right. Let her do her thing outside of her that down there. That fucking goddamn the dirty marsh.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd use that term to describe a chick that got the clap. I mean, it happens, right? Like sometimes
dirty marsh. That doesn't describe. Well, you use whatever you want to use for that that nasty puss.
Yeah.
But here's another one. Am I the asshole for calling the health department on my neighbor? So here's the story behind that. For a few months now, my neighbor's septic system has been full and needing pumped out. I gotta bring his fucking laptop closer. Whoa, don't want that. Needed pumped out. But instead of doing the same thing and getting it fixed, they just begin pouring their fecal matter into their front lawn and spraying it daily with a hose. After a month or so of this, I had enough. Yeah. And my family was being way too biased about it, so I called the health department. Now my family thinks I'm causing bad blood and are all upset that I want this biohazard fixed instead of stirring the pot. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I cannot believe you waited a month to call the health department. That's like a day 2 thing. If I see my neighbor pouring poo into their front yard, like, I'm going to be like, hey, bud, what you doing there? And when they explain the situation, I'm going to say, yeah, you need to get that fixed. And if it's not fixed the next day, like, yeah, I'm calling the health department. That is insanity. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, next to that, like, I'm like, why is his family defending the neighbors, spreading human shit all over the fucking yard and then hosing it down?
Yeah.
Like, why? Are you stirring the pot? Fuck that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people, man?
Yeah, that is the one of the grossest things I've ever heard. Like, what?
It's like, I mean, they probably out there. Hey, Merry Christmas.
Exactly. I don't even understand like, if you own a home, they probably need a new septic tank. I get that, but you can just get it pumped. Like, you don't have to, because it's probably like 10 to 12 grand to get a new septic tank. I get it if you're like, oh, I don't have that money right now, but you can get it pumped. Like that's not going to cost you 12 grand. Like just get that done why would you do that? I also I don't understand the pouring. Like how are they like going in buckets and just taking it out front? Is that their plan? Like
this has to be this is definitely a country thing. This has to be in the country.
Yeah, this is like West Virginia shit. This is insane.
Yeah. Like southern shit, backwoods, like up in the hills or something like that.
Yeah, these are the hills have eyes people right there.
Trailer park shit.
Yeah.
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 And that's what I'm saying. Like, so why is his family so concerned? Probably because his family lives in the house with him.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. That is.
Yeah. Imagine just going out to get the paper. Just imagine going out to get the paper. You're in your robe. You're coming out with a cup of coffee. Going out to get the paper, and I was like, "Oh God, what the fuck is that stench?" I'm looking over like you see your fucking neighbor out there with his fucking hat flailed out with a cigar. Hey, looks like shit. Hey, that's my neighbor. Hey, you don't mind if you use your hose, do you? Just nose it down. Hey, I got some old Milwaukee's in the back, brother.
Yeah.
You want cold ones?
Yeah. You are not the asshole for calling the health department, but you are an insane person for waiting a month. You should have.
And the cops and the health department. I would have called the whole fucking goddamn crew.
Yeah, I would have got the cavalry in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that came out with a fucking flamethrower and torched everything.
That's insane. People are outrageous.
Well, Joe, I think that's enough, so I'll let you close it up, brother.
I think so. Hey, thanks everyone for hanging out for happy hour. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave us a review if you're listening on a podcast service. It really helps us out. And we'll see you guys next week, the week of football.
Hell yeah, brother.